Hello. I'm back again. Sorry for the emotional intro, because I'm here with probably one of the most expensive and precious paintings I've ever touched, except the Van Goghs. It's a Rubens. It's a Rubens sketch. And Rubens sketch means that this very painting, which is a painting, it looks small, but it's actually on a piece of wood. So it's on a small panel and painted really loosely in oil paints on that little panel. And it's a sketch for a bigger painting somewhere in a church in Flanders. And what we see here, this little fella here, is Saint Sebastian, which I will talk to you a little bit more on later. But the special thing about the Rubens sketches is that they're the only Rubenses that we know for sure of that they're made by Rubens. Because Rubens had a big studio. It's like the factory by Andy Warhol. So he had dozens and dozens of students. Actually, all the big Rubenses that you see in churches or wherever are mostly made by students. And these students and pupils and actually assistants, what they got before making the big painting was one of these, a little oil sketch for the big composition, the big tableau. And all these oil sketches are 100% Rubens. So what I'm holding here is precious, is really art historically relevant, and it's also a really pretty one actually. Rubens really could churn off these sketches in a few hours, maybe one, maybe two. And what we see here is a saint called Saint Sebastian, who was an early Roman martyr. And if you know Saint Sebastian, you know he's quite popular, also in homoerotic circles, by the way, because he's always depicted like the young, starving man with arrows in his chest, you know. If you listen to the Smiths, there's even songs about it, you know. And this depicts the moment before he is executed by the Romans. Normally Saint Sebastian, we see him with his body full of arrows that the Romans shot at him. Here we see the moment just before that. The thing is, Saint Sebastian was always immune to these arrows, so nothing happened to him. And that's what makes it relevant in these days, because in plague times in the Middle Ages, and especially later, Saint Sebastian became the patron saint of the plague-ridden, the people that got the plague, because the plague, like the corona or the COVID or the flu or whatever, you know, the arrows were, you know, they were a metaphor for that plague, for that virus, let's say. And like Saint Sebastian was immune to these arrows, the people, by praying and worshipping Saint Sebastian or images of Saint Sebastian, like the one I'm holding here in my hands, they could have in their imagination be immune to the plague or corona as well. As you see, it's a beautiful, intricate sketch in which Rubens just used the basic colors. These sketches by Rubens are always a little bit monochrome, so he indicated the soldier just with a few brush strokes here, and the figure of Saint Sebastian with that beautiful kind of pinkish red behind him, and the loincloth which hides his PP, which is in later times always one of the main features of Saint Sebastian. Beautiful, what we call a figura serpentina, almost a snake-like figure, an S that was popular in Renaissance times, which Rubens was really interested in, so he adapted that. So the assistants of Rubens used tools like this, original Rubenses, to basically churn off something that is maybe 80% or maybe 60% in most cases Rubens. So I have a Rubens in my hand. I hope everything is well, and ciao ciao. Bye.